Well, I decided through the course of this week, really, but this episode I think cemented it for me. We did the deep fake story on Tuesday, I think. And today we're going to talk about AI. That my problem really is not with AI, but with deep fakes. I think deep fakes are that is a huge concern for me. And we'll talk about it in this episode. You'll find out why. And
Yeah.
man, I feel
Before we
down now.
It's all right. Before we start, we just want to make a quick request to all our viewers. We really appreciate everybody who subscribes to the channel. It means a lot to us, and it makes us know that what we're doing is working. So if you want to click that subscribe, it's really easy for you to do. And if you like it, the episodes, then it'll be an easy way to keep on top of what we're doing next. So yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
And we'll go to the grandfather of AI telling us that we're all doomed. Enjoy the show.
Godfather of AI. What's his name? Jeffrey Hilton.
Yeah, Jeffrey Hinton.
Leaves Google and warns of danger ahead. And this guy I think there was actually a little bit of misrepresentation. I don't know if it was this article or not, but basically he feels that with the advent of ChatGPT and other up and coming AI technologies, that the world is heading on a crash course to disaster.
Yeah, that's pretty much the article. Yes.
Yeah,
and I 100% disagree.
Okay.
Unless, go ahead, Peter.
No, please go ahead.
Unless you happen to be a citizen of the United States of America.
What?
Yeah.
Which is that's all that matters.
That's not.
I am actually okay. So here it is. Worst case scenario. Yeah. Worst case scenario.
Which is what we're talking about here.
We replace, that's exactly what's being talked about. We replace all lower level workers. So your service industry, your salespeople, your store clerks, your waitresses and waiters, your bussers, right? All hosts, hotel concierge, room service, cooks and chefs. We replace everyone with machines or automations, okay? Now you have hundreds of millions of people out of work. And depending on the country and political system that you land in, you will either be fine or you will not be fine. That's my prediction. Terrible prediction. Hopefully it doesn't come true, but that's what I foresee in this future. And a country like, I don't know, Sweden, let's say, will most likely create safeguards for everyone that all of a sudden is unemployed. Something like, maybe universal basic income.
So your fears go to. Let me read a paragraph from the article.
Sure.
This is from the New York Times.
Sure.
They're talking about gnawing at many industry insiders is a fear that they are releasing something dangerous into the wild. Generative AI can already be a tool for misinformation. Soon it could be a risk for jobs. Somewhere down the line, tech's biggest warriors say it could be a risk to humanity. It's hard to see how you could prevent the bad actors from using it for bad things, says Hinton. And what you were speaking to, John, I think is the second level of this. It could be a risk to jobs. And that's absolutely true. And eventually we'll figure that out because the corporations need to keep making money somehow, which means people need to keep being able to buy stuff. We still want service workers, so they're still going to exist. Like a lot of this can be automated. Like we'll figure it out. Some will do better than others, and maybe more than the U.S. or not is like capitalism or not. I don't know. But I'm more into the risk to humanity, and that bit I totally agree with.
What, like Skynet risk?
No, not Skynet risk. There's another section on here where he talks about, and we saw this a little bit even on the story we did, I think, on Tuesday with the pizza commercial. His immediate concern is that the internet will be flooded with false photos, videos, and text, and the average person will not be able to know what is true anymore. And I think that is a huge problem.
We don't already.
And it's already a problem. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
it's a huge problem now, and it's just going to get worse.
here's
doesn't get any. I don't think it's going to get worse.
No,
I think it will stay the same level of shittiness.
I think.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Here it is. It will get shittier and it will get worse. But here's what I think. Currently, I would say Facebook is like the creme de la creme of shitty fucking memes, right? Misinformation, memes, politically charged posts generated by who knows what kind of what do you call it? Like account factories. And all of us, I would say Gen X and below, generally can tell the difference, right?
So far.
But the boomers and above the boomers really cannot. And they are the ones fueling this and driving it and interacting with these types
There's nobody
posts
above
and this
boomers.
type
I think you're referring to people my age. We're Gen X. We're not actually boomers.
Maybe.
The
Anyway,
greatest generation isn't really much around anymore.
I don't think.
All right, moving on.
I think that this is the cycle that we've entered in the digital age, where you'll have ignorance at the oldest generations and the younger generations will be able to tell the difference, or they will tailor their online experience so to avoid.
But we just talked about how good the deep fakes are. How are you going to tell the difference?
I told you already. I'm in the works of fixing this.
Okay. Can I say one thing that kind of just pissed me off about this whole article?
No, sorry, this video's over, Peter.
Oh, okay.
I just stopped the recording. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you now, post-recording. The thing that pissed me off about this was that, to me, it had this flavor of, you know how someone who's in politics, an aide or a trusted or a lawyer who's for a particular particularly vile politician, quits the game and then writes a book, an expose of all the secrets of the land and all the dirty laundry. And then I was thinking to myself, but you spent 15 years enabling all that shit and helping it happen, and you did nothing to fix it. And I don't know. It feels to me like a sort of what do you call it? Just trying to make he's probably going to come out with a book soon about the dangers of AI. Yeah.
I think you're right. He does address that a little bit because he talks about how he in his mind, Google used to be a good steward of artificial intelligence, but once ChatGPT launched and Microsoft started integrating it with Bing, it became kind of a nuclear arms race between Google and Microsoft, and they became less responsible with it. And that, it's from the article, sounded like it was kind of the tipping point from him, why he's speaking out now.
I think that's a thinly veiled excuse for just wanting to capitalize on the fact that he didn't do anything to enable. He didn't speak out about them Google firing the AI ethics team, did he? And that happened before ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's true.
There's tons of stuff that he.
That's a good point.
Like, it's a bit of sort of, the shocking stuff that's going on in the top level of politics or whatever. I swear, anything. He's going to have a book coming out soon.
I mean, you're not wrong, because he already said that he quit so that he could talk about it.
Yeah, but look, okay, that's just an aside, really, about the points that he's raising. I've got a lot more faith in humanity. I'm somewhere split in the middle between you guys. You think it's all just going to go to shit, right, Mike?
I don't see any positive outcome.
Right. And John, you think that it's not going to be so bad? You think it's going to be all right?
Geographically speaking, depending on where you're sitting, you'll be totally fine, or you won't be fine. And that's, of course, very like doomer scenario. This might never happen. Like,
it was an interesting point, because the way that you explained it earlier on, John, was about, okay, so let's say 100 million people lose their jobs. What occurred to me is that it's 100 million people still lose their jobs, but the work that they were doing is still being done.
Correct.
So basically, we've had a massive net efficiency increase overall as human beings, and that really should result. no, efficiency as a
Yeah,
as a
I'm
planet.
following. I'm saying, but a
Yeah.
deficiency in money coming in.
Well, that's what I mean. Is that the efficiency should be rewarded in some sort of like, I don't know, end of year bonus to the whole human race. And I don't think that's going to happen because of capitalism. And I think that comes down to like, yeah, it depends where you live. If capitalism is the God King that rules us all, then you're kind of fucked because you need to be working to earn any money. But we should think about things in a sort of higher level of like, how
That's
does it
very
benefit
Star
the human
Trek
race?
of you, Peter. But
we're getting to Star Trek levels, aren't we? I mean,
sooner, I don't know if we will see it, but as long as we don't blow each other up, I think we're on that path, right? Like we really are on that path.
And those bits of it, the economic bits of it, I think we'll get through. We'll figure that out. But the more existential bits of it, I think legitimately could be a greater risk to humanity than global warming.
Well, look, sci-fi authors have been writing about this kind of stuff for a long time. We mentioned it in another episode, Philip K. Dick's book, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? And the movies that were based on it, Blade Runner. And it's all about replicants. And replicants are basically androids who are kind of simulating humans. They're at the level where they breathe, they eat, they have sex. And there's one of them that doesn't even know they're a replicant because they're so advanced, and they take this test and they pass it saying they're a human, but actually it turns out, well, I won't spoil it. Turns out that there's a twist. Could be anything. But like it's
I wonder what the twist is.
Peter, you need to warn people if you're going to spoil a movie like that. What if somebody hasn't seen it yet?
40 years old.
Yeah,
I was just going to watch it this weekend.
Yeah, it's still a very, very good movie.
Yeah, it holds up for sure.
Yeah, I definitely recommend the director's cut. Anyway, yeah, it's that's what people have been talking about, and there's dystopian sci-fi and there's utopian sci-fi and there's something in the middle, and nothing is for sure. But as the human race, we've done okay on balance. I think we're still here, we're still around. So nature is winning, as in we haven't destroyed ourselves quite yet.
I mean, yeah.
Don't turn on the news.
Depending on where you are, right? Like that's the funny thing is that you go watch the news in Sweden or Norway or Finland. It is very different than the news in the United States. And, that says a lot. And I think I can't speak for how the US will handle, because we're already seeing, go to a grocery store, everyone self-checks out. People are sociopaths if you go stand in line to have a human do your groceries, right? Or you go to McDonald's, you're not going to go order from the guy at the counter. There's only one. You're going to go to the screen and order. Yeah. I don't want to talk to anyone.
I order on the phone in my car.
Yeah, exactly. So we're already seeing it. The automations are here. They're going to expand. We're going to see a whole workforce disappear, and we're going to have to try to figure out how to compensate these people so that they can live.
So one of the things I love about tech. Sorry,
I was just going to say the deep fakes are going to bring us all down first, because we won't even get that far.
One of the things I love about tech is that it blends. It's not just about technology. It kind of, when it gets advanced enough, it comes into other areas. So at the moment, we're having philosophical debates about AI, and we're having English lit debates. We're having English lit majors hacking ChatGPT. And I think from this conversation, what would be really interesting would be to have a historical context. So what the kind of things that have brought down empires before. Like, is it possible that the US could just implode at some point because of its reliance on capitalism? And has an event happened like that in the past? What has taken down a superpower before? Like, why is Genghis Khan not around still? I mean, obviously he died, but like, why is his empire not around? What happened to make that happen and to cause that? So I think history is going to be an important thing here, where we can look back and say, okay, well, this is the kind of thing that we need to avoid happening again in the future. Yeah. Anyway, that's my little spiel.